Hello, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we bring you the most chilling stories to send shivers down your spine. If you enjoy being spooked, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling tales. Today's story is called The Graveyard Keeper's Secret, and trust me when I say this is one story you won't forget. So gather your courage, turn off the lights, and let's dive into the darkness together. It was a cold, moonless night, and I found myself walking down the gravel path that led to the old graveyard. The wind was howling, and the rustling leaves seemed to whisper sinister secrets. I'd heard the stories about this place, vengeful spirits haunting the grounds, seeking revenge on the living, but I was never one to believe in ghost stories. That is, until that fateful night. As I approached the entrance, I noticed the decrepit figure of the graveyard keeper, his hunched form silhouetted by the flickering light of his lantern. His weathered face cracked into a twisted smile as he greeted me, his voice raspy from years of chain smoking. "Good evening, young one. What brings you to this godforsaken place?" "I've always been fascinated by the legends surrounding this graveyard, sir," I replied, trying to mask my unease. "I thought I'd explore it for myself and see what all the fuss is about." The graveyard keeper cackled, the sound echoing through the still air. "Well then, you're in for a treat. I must warn you, though, not everyone who enters leaves the same." His words sent an involuntary shiver down my spine, but I brushed it off and stepped past him into the graveyard. The tombstones loomed like silent sentinels, casting eerie shadows that seemed to reach for me as I walked deeper into the graveyard. I could feel the air grow colder and the whispers grew louder. I tried to convince myself it was just my imagination, but the feeling of being watched grew stronger with each step. Suddenly, the wind stopped and the whispers fell silent. The air around me grew thick, and it was then that I saw them, ghostly figures emerging from the shadows, their faces twisted in agony and rage. I froze, paralyzed with fear as they approached me, their voices now a chorus of wails and screams. "You should not have come here," they hissed, their spectral forms mere inches from my face. "The graveyard keeper has a secret, and he shall pay for his sins." As quickly as they had appeared, the spirits vanished into the night, leaving me trembling in terror. I knew I needed to escape, but the curiosity that led me here now demanded answer. I hurried back to the graveyard keeper, who was waiting for me by the entrance, his smile now replaced with a look of concern. "What did you see?" he asked, his voice trembling. "The spirits!" I gasped. "They spoke of a secret you hold. What did you do?" The graveyard keeper's face paled and he glanced around nervously. "You must leave now. It's not safe here for you." "But what's your secret?" I demanded, my fear turning to anger. He hesitated, then finally whispered, "I've been the keeper of this graveyard for decades, and I've seen the spirits torment the living. In my desperation, I made a deal with them. In exchange for my soul, they would spare the lives of those who entered the graveyard. I thought I was saving lives, but I only fed their hunger for vengeance. I've been trapped here ever since, a living ghost bound to these grounds." I stared at him, shocked by his confession. My heart ached for this man who had sacrificed his own soul for the sake of others. The spirits, sensing my sympathy, returned with a vengeance, their anger now directed at me. "You dare pity him," they snarled. "He is ours. You cannot save him." The graveyard keeper, seeing my peril, grabbed my arm and pulled me towards the exit. "You must go now," he shouted as the spirits closed in around us. We stumbled through the darkness, the enraged spirits hot on our heels. With every step, the boundary between the living and the dead seemed to blur, and I could feel the cold tendrils of the afterlife reaching for me. Just as I thought we were lost, we reached the edge of the graveyard, and the spirits suddenly retreated, their angry wails echoing into the night. I stood there, panting, my heart racing with fear and adrenaline. The graveyard keeper looked at me with a mix of gratitude and sadness. "Thank you for trying to help me," he said softly, "but there's no saving me now. You must never return here, lest the spirits claim you as well." As I turned to leave, I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of sorrow for the graveyard keeper, forever bound to this haunted place. I knew I would never forget his sacrifice, and I silently vowed to share his story, a warning to others of the true nature of the vengeful spirits that haunted this forsaken graveyard. And there you have it, the chilling tale of the graveyard keeper's secret. I hope you enjoyed this haunting story and that it left you with goosebumps. Remember, sometimes curiosity can lead us into the darkest of places. If you liked this story, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more spine-tingling tales. Until next time, sleep tight and don't let the vengeful spirits bite. Goodbye.